Hi there, my name is Marina Newington and I help new female entrepreneurs cut through the overwhelm of conflicting advice to crack the code of getting clients and making money. And the first thing, one of the very first things that we need to talk about is social media. Yes, social media, it's a big one and people ask me about this all the time. There's so many questions. What platform should I be on? How often should I post? What should I post? I know there are so many questions about this, but today we're going to talk about which platform to choose and we're going to touch on what you need to do on it. So it's going to be all things about all the different platforms, and I'm going to help you figure out which platform is best for you. So I'm going to talk to a few things in this video, and then I have a lot more details down below for you in the blog. And I have an amazing free resource for you that stick with me at the end. I'll tell you how you can get it, and that's going to be yours to keep, and it's absolutely free. Okay, so social media. There are a few things to remember. First of all, you need to know the platform that you are using. If you've never been on it before, then you need to get to know the platform that you're on. Okay, let's take a step back first before we get to that. Everyone wants to know how many platforms they should be on. Oh my God, I need to be on this one. I need to be on that one. Listen, my kids are on Snapchat and TikTok. Does that mean that I need to be on there as a business? No, because I am not hitting those demographics at all. My ideal customer avatar is a woman aged 25 to 55, and she usually hangs out on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Those are the places where I want to be. Now, I am further advanced and I'm further down the line. And I'm also on YouTube and I'm also on Pinterest. And I have something on Twitter, even though I'm not really a big fan of Twitter. So I'm on all the platforms. But when you're starting out, I highly, highly recommend that you only start with 2 platforms. Start with 2 and get to know them really, really well. 3 at most, but really 2. And the obvious ones to start with are Facebook and Instagram. But let's talk through this a little bit and we can see what works best for you. So here's the other thing. It's not so important where you like to hang out, but where your ideal customer likes to hang out. Where do they hang out? Which platform do they like to use? Is your business very visual? Is it about relationship building? You know, there are each of the different platforms, they give you something and they don't give you something. So there are pros and cons to all of them. And I'm going to highlight some of the pros and cons in more detail down below. And I'm not going to talk to all of those right now, but I'm going to write about them down below. So make sure you take a look at that to get a little bit more in-depth information. But what I do want to talk about before we begin are 3 things that you really need to keep in mind before you start picking which platform is best for you. So number 1, once you decide which one you're going to use, which of the 2 you're going to use, I want you to get to know it as a user. So if you're not familiar with it, then get an account, sign up for a business account or get a personal account and just start using it and get familiar with it and start seeing what the user experience is. Because before you start communicating to people and before you start sharing on social media, you want to know what the experience is like for the user. So get into their shoes, get on the platform, get comfortable with it, start using it. Like on Instagram, what is it that you like about Instagram? Do you like the reels? Do you like the lives? Do you like the IGTV? Do you like the feed? There are so many different elements of Instagram, and that's just one platform. So, get to know it a little bit as a user. Number 2, commit to a consistent schedule. Okay, this is so, so, so important. What is the right amount of time to post? People always want to know, how much should I post? Whatever you can consistently commit to, that is how much you should post. So if you can post 1 time a day, then 7 days a week, 28 days a month, that is how much you should ideally post. If you can do 2 posts a day, then 14, etc., etc. It's whatever you can commit to. And you don't have to start off large. You have to start off consistently. And consistency is going to be how you're going to win. Okay. You must, and I'm using this word, you must be consistent. Consistency is one of the most important ingredients to success in the online game. Okay. You must be consistent, but start where you are. Okay. Because you will get more as you move on. You'll be able to do more as you move on. So you want to begin by being consistent for as much as you can, but commit to a schedule that you think is realistic for you. I recommend posting once a day. But if you can't do that, then 5 times a week. Just make sure you have something that you can do consistently. Okay, and then number 3, before you get busy with all your posting, you need to come up with a plan. And I talk to this plan a lot inside of my membership, and it's all about how to get your client attraction up. And it's so important for you to come up with a plan. Okay, you need to have an idea of what you're posting, what type of post you're doing, on what days, on what platform. So if you're doing something on Facebook and Instagram, then you can use the same visual, but you might have to adjust the visual because the pictures are different sizes on them. On Instagram, you can only use pictures. On Facebook, you can use words and pictures. You can use videos on both, but there are different lengths of time. So there are all sorts of different rules and things. So you have to figure out what it is that you want to post on what day. And that way, top tip, you're going to be able to schedule it in advance. So if you make yourself a plan, and I can help you with this. This is one of the things that, I help new entrepreneurs with, putting together that plan. And I'm going to have more vlogs coming up about it. But if you put together that plan, you are going to be in such better shape to be consistent and be there for the audience that you are growing. Okay, so those are the 3 things that I think are really, really important. Now, what I've come up with is an amazing free resource for you, and it's called Choosing the Right Social Media Platform for Your Business. And in it, I have all the social media platforms. I have the size, the demographics, the purpose, best for, and the downside. So that is yours. So I'm attaching a link to it down below. So click the link, and it's going to take you to the opt-in page for it. And you give me your email, and I give you this. So that's the other important thing about social media. You have to start sharing your lead magnets. You have to start sharing your free resources. But in order to attract clients, you want to be able to get them on your email list so you can grow and nurture your relationships with them. And so that, if they're interested in this, then hopefully they'll be interested in other things that you want to share with them in order to help them and to support them. So this is an example. I like being very transparent about what I do. This, there's no, man behind the curtain here. So I am offering you, this is an example of what you want to be doing. I'm offering you a valuable free resource, and in exchange, I'm asking you for something valuable, which is your email address, so I can communicate with you. So that's how this process works. And this is the sort of thing you want to be doing on social media as well. Not all the time. You want to be generating lots of value most of the time. 70% of the time at least, you want to be giving value, and then 30% of the time you want to be offering things, your products and services, either free or paid, but you certainly don't want to be doing that all the time. But that's a different conversation. That's about what we post and the content, as opposed to which platform we're picking. So down below, I'm going to have, like I said, some pros and cons for all the major players. Now, as a rule of thumb, I recommend starting with Facebook and Instagram. Those are the big boys, and those are the ones where most of your people are going to be on. Now, some basic pros and cons with Facebook. There are over 2 billion users. I mean, there is no way that your ideal client is not on Facebook. Whoever your ideal client is, they will be on Facebook, and you will find a huge audience. The downside is that on Facebook, the algorithm is such that whatever you post gets seen by very few people, and it's very, very hard to build a new audience on Facebook. But what it is for, what is good for, is for building a community. And building loyalty and communication with the community. So if, for example, you you start a private Facebook group or a public Facebook group, and then you attract people to your group, and then you share value in your group, or you share value on your page. That is a form that's going to be really good for that and for building community and things like that. But if you have a business that, say, is really visual, so say you have a beauty business or a food business, those sorts of things are going to be great on Instagram, which is a very, very visual medium, because you have to use pictures and videos in order to post on Instagram. Whereas on Facebook, you can use just words. Although, to be honest with you, just words aren't going to stop the scroll. And on Facebook and Instagram, you're talking very much about a disruptive sort of post, something that's going to stop the scroll, what's going to make people stop and look at what it is that you want to share with them. So these are the sorts of things that we need to look at. Check out the guide that is yours for free. Check out the details below about the pros and cons. And I would love to hear, love to hear from you what it is that you are going to pick for your social media platforms. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. I'm also going to attach a link to my social media main resources, my main pages, so that you can see what it looks like and get an idea of how someone puts together their business profile and their business page on Facebook, on Instagram, on Pinterest, and on LinkedIn. So, and how your brand can be consistent across all those places. So lots of links for you, lots of information. Download the free resource, okay, the sheet about all the different social medias, and please let me know which ones you pick to be on. And I have a link in my Facebook group, which I'm going to include the link to as well, which lets you on a special day share your Instagram handles and your social media handles, so that we can all follow each other. So I would love to follow you and see what it is you're doing. So please do make sure you come into my Facebook group and you share that, and I will give you a follow, and I will see what it is that you're doing. I can't wait to find out. So lots of stuff there, and I can't wait to hear how it goes for you. Okay, talk to you next time.